Today I am going to be making my second mead, and I'm going to try something a little different. I got myself some nice blueberries here, already defrosted. I've already gone through and cleaned everything with the Star Sand Sanitizer. So, let's kind of get started. I gotta weigh out. Should clean everything up here real quick. Let's bring this out. Try to keep this all a little bit organized, but I am not the most organized. So you got your just over so you get a perfect spot. Alright, so I'm going to weigh this out because I don't have exactly 3 pounds of honey. I have 40 ounces. Brand new honey. So I want to just start from 0, and I can't get this up. Start pouring. Like I said, I want to get about 3 pounds of honey. We are close to 6 ounces right now. It's going to take a little bit of time. I'm definitely questioning whether or not I'm going to let that go. I need to grab the other honey. And it seems like I am making a complete mess here. Right now I got about 2.5 ounces. So, don't make the mistake that I did in thinking that I had enough at 40 ounces when I can't do math apparently. My wife will be upset because I used her honey to finish this off. Which is a little unfortunate. Get a little bit of this water in here. Try to get the rest of the honey out of this thing. So I'm kind of off by 6 ounces right now, so hopefully, probably should have did this with warmer water. I didn't think about that either. Back. Alright, let's add some hot water to this. And I cannot just not spill. Whew, that is toasty. Let's try to get the rest of. Whew. Top, mix the rest of this. Alright, so hopefully the blueberries will have enough sugar to kind of combat what honey I am missing at the moment. The other thing I did not take into consideration, blueberries and this open mouth. That is going to be a very interesting endeavor here. trying to get these in here. So I'm going to make a little bit of a mess getting these blueberries. I wonder if... already too late. Just attempt. Get the blueberry juices. I don't have a funnel large enough to put these blueberries in fast enough. So unfortunately, with clean hands, I'm going to have to put these in individually. I'd figured that there was going to be issues. And again, trying to keep everything away from this so I don't stain any of my wife's cloths. Well, I did not plan for this because I didn't think or take into consideration the whole blueberry thing. So I probably would get a bigger mouth next time to actually get these in here. Man, I am just spilling all over the place with this. So, I also disinfected the table here, so anything that's up here that falls out, I'll have no issues with. Always clean your surfaces so you have no bacteria or anything like that growing in. I'm using 1 pound of frozen strawberries that have been defrosted over the course of a couple hours. And that one is far gone. But I made mead once before. This was back during COVID in December of 2020. And, well, I guess it wasn't really, it was pre-COVID. Tried my first set of mead. I absolutely loved it. But I let it sit too long and did not realize that it can go bad fairly quick if you do not pasteurize it or do not seal it correctly. See, my other big mistake was that I used old wine bottles that had normal screw-on metal caps, not thinking of anything that, you know, I was going to actually use. Like, I didn't think of that it was going to continue to ferment, and I guess, I don't know if it turned sour or kind of caused more like a vinegar type taste. But it definitely turned out nasty after a while, just from sitting. So, this time, I'm going to try something different. I'm going to get some sealed tops and actually seal them once I'm done with this, and actually when I actually go to bottle it, I'll have something more sealed that I can hopefully age better, or age the mead better, as well as I didn't realize that you could pasteurize this. So once you hit that flavor that you were looking for, that flavor profile, you can pasteurize it and cause the yeast to stop eating away at any extra sugars that are in there, and it would keep, you know, maintain the taste that you have as well as the amount of sugar that you have in there. Alright, so got that. Good blueberries. Okay, so from that, the next thing is to add some water. Start filling this bad boy up. So I left a little bit of water in this glass just to start the fermentation with the heated water. See if I can get the yeast to foam up. What I do want to do before I fill it fully is, because I don't really have a cap right now, so before I do that, I'll wipe the lid down. I spilled all that honey, all that water and everything on this. Let's cap this real quick. Give it a good mix because you see all that honey is still in there. So let's try to mix it up a little more once I get the yeast in there. So, trying something new this time. I'm also adding a yeast nutrient so it could ferment faster, because I think it took me, I think it was a month and a half to 2 months, so I'm going to try some yeast nutrient, North Mountain, see if it makes any difference for me. And let's up more water first. Sorry, this is going to be the first YouTube video I'm going to make, and so I do apologize for being the first video, hopefully of many, because this seems like more of a fun passion. Alright, let's keep it right about there. So well, you can't really see it because of the foam and everything now. The 1 gallon lettering is basically right here. So the top of the lettering is probably about here. So I'm just a little bit below it. I'll add a little more water when I'm done, depending on what this is going to look like. So I'm going to shake it one more time. Get my thumb over the cap so it doesn't spit out. I'm just trying to incorporate the water into the rest of this. So I can get a nice reading from this. The other thing I didn't think about was blueberries. Am I going to be able to pour this without having the blueberries come out? That is unfortunate. I hope they float, because then I can grab them again. But looks like some of the blueberries came back up at the top, so I might be able to pull those out real quick. I am making a mess. Okay. So let's get a actual reading here. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see this reading. Looks like I'm at, what is that, 1 point, I don't know if I can zoom in on this. It's not that great. Got a lot of foam in there. But it's looking like that 1.12. Write that down. Which at a 1.12, we have a nice little handy chart. Says it's going to roughly be about 15% alcohol. Some of the sugar in there, but I got an idea on how much it's actually going to be. So let's pour the rest of this back in. And from there, clear the station because there's now honey everywhere and all over me. Let's see, this is still too hot. Let's add a little bit of water. Let's get our yeast. It is K1V1116. This is basically a mead, wine, and beer, I think, making yeast. So I am just going off of other videos and stuff that I've seen before, and I tried something with, I think it was the Hyman's dry instant active yeast. Okay, let's get that in there. So I've got all the yeast. Let's get that little mix. let's get our yeast nutrients. So this said recommended for wine, beer, mead, and cider. So got our 1 little teaspoon. Try to get that all in there without any issues. Okay, just mix up our yeast. So now you got the nutrient in there. Oh boy. Instead I got the yeast all over this, which is not what I wanted to do. I am having some terrible difficulties. Maybe instead of doing that, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take another packet and I'm just going to put it directly in here, because this seems like it's just, well, all over this, and that's not going to work for what we need. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to get this, warm like I was hoping to do with that to actually activate the yeast. So I don't know if, let's see. I'll grab another packet. Give me 1 second. I've seen so many YouTube videos where they just throw the yeast into here and go from there. So, fingers crossed. Let's try something new, right? That's how we learn. Same with making this. I've never made, well, I have made mead before, but it's a new experience. Let's add a little bit of water. Now we got that. Let's push this bad boy on nice and tight. So I'll move the camera up a little bit so you can see. Then I need to add, so this is a little bit of the sanitizing water. I'm going to add just regular bottled water. That might be a little too much, but I am going to leave this for about 5 days or so. Let's get that in there. I'm going to come back, I'm going to take a look at it, and I'm going to see, well, I'm going to check it in a couple hours and see if there's any foaming, see if it's actually, the yeast is starting. And then probably about, I think it's every week or so, I'm going to come down, because I'm currently in my basement, and I'm going to just mix it, give it a nice little shake like I just did, take this off, shake it around to help the yeast start eating more of the sugars. Alright, so I think that is it. I will, let's see, I marked what the percentage is. From here, I'm going to update this. I'm going to put a date on it, and I'm going to tape it onto here. And I'm going to update it after a month, and I will give you guys a updated video and see where I can go from there. And if you liked what you see, thank you for watching, and I really appreciate it. If you can like, subscribe, maybe a little bit of cooking, a little bit more meads, maybe some. I actually wouldn't mind trying ciders or something like that. But I'm really hoping that this blueberry mead is going to come out really good. So we'll see. I'm going to try to keep you guys updated on everything. Thank you for watching.